Alright, so what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Business Loop podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pleasure to have all you guys here today again. And today we're going to talk about like some very special topics.
Yeah.
And these topics, I feel like it could genuinely just help like just the next generation of people just doing the same things that we've done. Like just drastically help you guys just survive in college, just getting through like your next step, just what's your next move. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people always try to figure out how like what's the next move that I have to make after I leave college or after I leave school or just what's the next thing I should do. And to be honest, there's like no like rule. There's no roadmap rule on certain things that you should do, or there's no roadmap rule on like certain like things that you should do in terms of to at least achieve any form of success. So today we just want to talk to you guys and just share our experiences and just certain strategies that we've just learned while doing these things, whether it's just surviving college, like just getting through school itself, being on your own, moving out, living on your own,
Mm-hmm.
just any strategies you definitely need in terms of just being your own self, like moving out to your parents' house, just taking control of your own life. So here today we just want to share like just a couple of our experiences or things that we've been through. So what you think we should start with first?
All right. So the first thing I'd say, like,
Mm,
when this is if you're going the college route. So the actual thing, me and Kwan actually went through college, so we got into college, and then it's just the way that we approached it, what we did,
mm,
and stuff like that. So if you go to college, I mean, the ways to make money or the way to make the most money in the least amount of time from we what we saw was like the J1 program.
whether it's like just traveling and like working in a different country and then
Yeah.
all right, so that G1 program though, like what was your experience just maneuvering like through how did that help you in college and then in life?
So I mean, everybody basically knows that you can make a lot more money when you go to different countries.
Mm.
So I mean, my first experience on J1, I didn't make a lot of money. What about yours?
Well, my first experience, I never really make a lot of money, but what I did was I gained a lot of knowledge
Mm.
in terms of understanding that the possibility for me to make a lot of money was there.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
so it really opened my eyes and like just got me wiser in terms of just thinking of different ways that like I could do it and I could get myself through school because at that time it is just hard for like my parents to send me to school.
Mm-hmm.
So it did just become like a crazy thing when you really realize that all right, so all I have to do is just figure out how I'm going to get to the other country on the program.
Ah,
So once I did figure that out, then I did realize that yo, like, all right, so I can go generate the income somewhere else and bring it back here, and it worked twice as much.
and people can take loans. People
Yes,
borrow from family members.
yes.
People just
So that did like how it that's exactly how it went for me, bro. Like I did just take a loan from like some family members,
Mhm,
and then it is just hard for me to at least make the promise to
mhm,
say, yo, all right, I really, I really gonna do this. I really gonna at least go to a different country, make the money, pay you guys back, and then have money to pay for my expenses. Like
mm,
to convince them that was a thing,
yeah,
it is just very hard because they're like, no, that's not possible.
yeah, yeah.
So the closed-minded thing that like they genuinely said like, oh, yo, that's not possible. That was just like a crazy experience for me because, to be honest, like I wasn't even sure if I was gonna do that in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it like you just never know what can actually happen when you really take a chance and travel. But when I take the chance and travel though, it was like a mind bending experience for me because I got to meet more people. I got
Hmm.
to meet like a different side of the world. I got to leave my country and I got to travel, and it just really opened my eyes to see that there's a different life out there to live. Like there's a different experience out there.
Hmm.
It's just not just what we used to, you know. What
Yeah.
was it for you, like traveling?
So the first year, it wasn't great, but as you said, the same thing. It kind of opened your eyes to new experiences,
Hmm.
new ways to make money. That there's a bigger pool than what we're just surrounded by in our home country, Jamaica. So like a lot of people living differently. A lot of people open to different opportunities, different ways to make money,
Yeah,
different amounts of money. Cause like you have people go up in the summer and they're making people's yearly salary or 2 year salary, and then come back and they can actually live off that instead of like working for the entire year, and you're not seeing your returns, you're not holding that money.
yeah.
You're you can't really do anything with the money if you're like there day to day. You have the expenses going on.
I know, like, all right. So in Jamaica, like some places or the jobs overall
Hmm.
would be able to like maintain your life just in Jamaica.
Hmm.
Like, so they basically pay you based on what the economy doing. So like here, you would just come here and just like what you said, like you make a person yearly salary in like probably just one summer, bro,
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
probably like a month out of the summer.
Yeah.
So it just kind of crazy when that whole experience just they change your mind shift. You do feel like you have like a mind shift on how like this stuff works when you start making money outside your actual home country.
Yeah, a little bit, but then just where I went for the first time, it wasn't the best, and I just was
Yeah.
thinking there has to be places where you can make a lot more. So I kind of
Mm,
opened up my horizon to say I need to find a place where it would make a lot of sense for me to go there, or can be even a job, because I always heard about people doing different types of jobs and making like crazy amount of money, and then some people doing a different type of job and you're just making an average, but it still adds up.
so when you were like doing J1 and stuff, like what were some of the jobs that people used to come to America and have?
So like people usually do like prep cook, line cook. Some people were bussers.
Yeah.
Some people, what else? No landscaping, huh? I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, no landscaping, but like my first job was a busing job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like my first job I ever got there. It did kind of crazy because like at first you see because you don't know how like the American thing set up, so like you wouldn't know how the American culture set up. So at first I did got like a job and it was just paying me $5 an hour. Like
So yeah, we picked two different
you pick two
routes.
different roads,
You
yeah.
went $5 hour with tips.
Yes,
I think I went $10 or $12
straight off the bat, like
straight, like hourly,
hourly.
because I did a prep cook.
Yeah, but it's like it is crazy because I did just think that they just find like a bullshit job.
Hmm.
So I was thinking that like that $5 hour job was just bullshit. And like
You still took it.
I just took it, bro, because it never mattered to me at the time. It never mattered to me what job I'm going to do.
Hmm.
What mattered to me was the fact that I'm leaving.
Hmm.
Like I'm leaving the country. Like that was the biggest thing that mattered to me.
Hmm.
So it did just to me like I wasn't even focusing on the money part, bro. Like I did just want to make sure, say, all right, I'm not here. I'm not
Hmm.
spending my summer like just stuck in this country that I'm
Yeah.
at. And then having the experience, it did realize that okay, like even working the job for $5 an hour, it still paid me like it was like a 15 hour job.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, it still paid me that way, and then it kind of shift my mind on how the money system work in America, just coming straight from like Jamaica, like doing that.
Hmm.
So the money system to me was just it did just really affect that for me, and the way how I used to think about money, it just really helped me to just shift that way how I used to think about money.
Hmm.
So that was like my first experience even thinking about money overall
Hmm.
though. That was my first experience thinking about my actual personal finances.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of my first experiences just having that in consideration and just coming here overall. What was it like for you just working in another country for the first time?
It was crazy. I
Well,
don't know, it was kind of hard. I was doing like a lot of seafood. Sometimes you're cutting the seafood and
yeah.
you cut your hand or your feet getting soaked wet, super wet, because they're washing all the crabs. It
Damn,
was
dog.
crazy, but
Yeah, so that kind of crazy too because it's like my first experience wasn't like that, bro, because it was fairly easy. My first experience was out in the front of the restaurant.
yeah,
Yeah, so at first hand, I got the experience knowing that like, okay, like being out front more fun than being
in the back.
in the back. And it's
Hmm.
like I literally did just start realizing that when I used to get I used to get compliments all the time, like just being a black person at the front.
Hmm.
People used to be like, "Nice, how did you land this job for the summer?" And
Mm,
I was just like, "What?" So at no time I never even start recognize that okay, like being in the front is a privilege.
mm.
So I never used to think that because coming fresh from your country, you don't know what racism is, you don't know what none of this stuff
Because
is.
everybody's black.
Everybody's black, bro. So it's
Yeah,
like you're not thinking that yo, racist people around. Like, is it a thing for me to be at the front? That's
yeah.
I had no idea that this was a big deal.
Wow.
So when people used to approach me saying that, man, like, how did you land this job? Like, man, how do you do this? I'm like, what? Wait, you mean how I land this job? Like, the same way how you land your shit.
Yeah.
Like, so it never even occurred to me that like being at the front was a privilege.
Mm,
So now I did just start slowly realize that, and then when you really look at it, you start realizing that oh shit. Then being in the front people actually make more money than the back people,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and then you start looking into it and you say, but what? But the back people are the one who make it happen,
Doing the work,
doing the actual thing. But
putting
why
in.
is the front people? And you start realize how like really messed up this just whirl or cycle is, and I did
Yeah,
just start realize that instead of just complaining on why it like that,
just work.
just work with it.
Hmm.
Just work with it and maximize on what you have to work with right now.
That's interesting.
So I did learn that strategy from early.
Yeah.
So instead of complaining that like, oh, it shouldn't be like that, and we actually making the food like in the back. So I never really care about that. I did
Hmm.
just start realize that okay, this is a paradigm shift for me. So all I have to do is just be appreciative that I'm at the front
Hmm.
and just make it happen. Don't complain, don't ask questions. Just and I did just learn that early, and then I did just say, okay, my job is if I ever get a restaurant job again, all I need to do is just work to be at the front.
Hmm.
And I did just think that for early and just to say, okay, these are the things that I have to do. Don't complain that there's no way the back will make you more money. So all you have to do is just be seen, get yourself out there.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I did just get that, and I did just start realizing, okay, if I can stick with this, I can make a lot of money for the summer. But no, you make a, say for instance, you do the summer now and you realize how like this place actually is, and you realize like, okay, like I just need to move like this. What was your living scenario like in America? Like
So it was like I shared with four people.
your room?
Yeah, it was
Whoa,
two bunk beds, two persons, two, and
whoa, and that was your first experience just living. Like, what was that like for you?
so it wasn't bad. It was
Yeah.
okay because I actually came in, and this kind of goes into like networking and being good with people.
Hmm.
So I came in, I was good with the landlord, and he like said, okay, if you try to keep the place clean and try to keep some order in the house, I will lower your rent. I will kind of give you more privileges, and that actually helped me when he would like bring me around to the places. He would like say cut me. He would always try to cut me deals and try to bring me around,
Mm.
and then that could have even been a help for people going back to where I went to say I have this person, he has houses. So it's always good to network, I'd say.
So you did build like a link with that guy now.
Yes, yes. By just
Oh,
being a good person and just not messing up his house.
Well, that kind of cool still. Like my experience was fairly the same, bro. Like
Was it the
it
same?
was
With the same
the
landlord? I think
same.
you need to tell them the truth.
It was the same. So we had the same landlord, and it's like we being there. It was just it was just really cool. But it's like I didn't realize that like okay, I can't really this something off about this guy to me, and him want too much money that way. Because it's like at one point, and that was my first experience dealing with a capitalist. Also,
Hmm.
that was my first experience realizing that the people really don't care about you. You are just a tool to them.
Hmm.
So meeting that landlord, I start realize that like to me, I'm just a cash flow to this guy. Like this guy don't really care about how I'm doing,
Hmm.
and he used to try everything to squeeze out as much money out of us as possible. So it's like I did just realize that from early, and then I just like, yo, I don't like this. And then I did actually just finish my way and move out of him house.
Yeah.
Which what I did was I did link him friend that I did hear him and him friend like talking, and him
Hmm.
and him friend like saying, yo, I have this extra room, man, but I just don't know what to do. Like, and he's like, how much money you paying this guy? His friend is asking me these questions, and I just said to him like, yeah, I'm paying him like 100 a week or whatever. And he's like, man, I'll let you stay at my place for 70 a week. I'll give you my room, and
Hmm.
I'll go stay somewhere else. I'm like, all right, no problem. So I just go to it right around the corner, and just go live with him.
That's still networking.
Networking,
Yeah.
talks, and then like I did have my first experience just living. I did I pay a cheaper rent, and I did so that it kind of really cool to me when I did realize that I don't have to pay $100 a week. I can pay 70 a week. I
Mm.
can save this money, and all I have to do is just be nice to this guy and just maintain him house.
Hmm.
And then I did just do that. And once I did just do that, then it was just really cool, like being able to save that much money that I would have to spend anyways living at that next house.
Hmm.
So my first experience living was just it was really cool though. But what was life like after you just working and living in the US? Like what was that like?
I mean, the first experience, as I said, I didn't make a lot of money,
Hmm.
so I was just able to pay some stuff for myself, and
Mm.
then actually like save money and prepare for the next year, and just plan to hit it very prepared,
Yeah.
and plan not to just not run yourself into debt
Mm.
and mash up yourself before you actually get the chance to leave again. You know?
So like a lot of people don't even really see that strategy because what I notice a lot of people do is they will just travel to America and on the program come up make a bunch of money and then go back and then like just use the money and like just live completely live off the money and
Mm-hmm.
then just get super broke again until the next year and then you just try make money again next year.
Mm-hmm.
But how did you like because the first year you never make no money, but how did you strategize yourself that okay, next year I go on this program? What were your plans in your head to say like what you're going to do this time when you travel?
I mean, I was just focusing on getting to the place that made a lot more money.
But
So
you did have an idea where you wanted to go and
yeah,
what you
just
wanted to do.
listening to how people were talking and what wages they were getting.
People who've been on the program before, right?
Yeah.
So that's another strategy. Like the main thing to do before you even consider like doing it, try to talk to people before that went on programs like that before, or try get in contact with people that like just experienced the thing before. So
Mm-hmm.
once you say, oh, okay, these people experienced this thing before, like no problem. Try to get closer to those people and hear their stories and what they did and like how they got through whatever they got through. So those are things that actually really helped me when I was like saying, okay, I don't know nothing about this traveling thing. I don't know nothing about this J1 thing. Let me just figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that idea of where you wanted to go based on somebody else
Just
telling
listening to
you.
other people, but they didn't
Mm,
actually tell me how to get there. It was
yeah.
just through research that I was able to find to apply to places until some place
Mm,
took me and I could bring that to the I don't remember the name of it, the agency.
yeah, and like you do that all. How did you like? say you go apply for like a place, or how did you
Google
find the place? So just straight online.
online, straight
So
online.
that kind of crazy still just being online, you're able to figure out that okay, like you really can go anywhere you feel like you want to go. Like so, especially, and that's something that I did actually find out at a later date,
Mhm.
realizing that the programs are there.
Mhm.
You can literally go anywhere you feel like you want to go.
Mhm.
So once you have the idea of saying, okay, I want to go on like a J1 program for the summer or whatever, you genuinely can go anywhere you feel like going.
Mhm.
It's just how you design your way and how you strategize your way in getting there. Because what I get to find out is a lot of the programs that's in Jamaica at that's just like a spin-off company from the actual company that's in America.
Mhm.
So like the actual company that's doing the J1 program is the sponsor in America, right?
Mhm.
So that same sponsor now is who is like responsible for finding in the jobs and doing stuff like that. The people in Jamaica, all that company does is they just fill out the application for you,
They're just the front end.
the front end. So
Mhm.
that is just a shell company like designed to just find and fill out as much applications as possible
Mhm.
for that specific country.
Mhm.
So that did kind of crazy to me when I did figure out that like I could have just find this thing myself.
Yeah, the sponsor.
I could have
Speak
find
to
this
them.
sponsor myself. So then I start really realize that like people just be doing that, bro. Like I did
Mhm.
start meet other people that just them get in contact with the sponsor themselves.
Oh.
Yeah, and then once I get in contact with the sponsor, them just look them job and like have the sponsor like send the DS form and stuff like that.
That cut down your fees.
That cut down a lot of fees where you would have just pay from whatever Jamaican company that's doing it. So if you're really into looking for that, like you don't have to depend on those Jamaican companies because a lot of them is just random people, just like me and you, just start those companies.
Mhm.
So like if you really want to get around that whole sphere of it, you gonna realize that you don't have to pay these guys a bag of money to do a bunch of shit. They all you paying for is for them to just literally fill out that application for you. Like that's
Mhm.
it. So I did figure that out and I did find that out, but I still never really when you know something but you still just want, all right, let me just go the safer route because
Yeah.
this route did just happen for me. So I did still just work with the Jamaica company and I did still just do a lot of things because when the tax time come around, I did realize those guys really helped me still and helped me
Mhm.
go through that. So that was like a bonus to say, okay, I'm gonna use the company because of this.
Mhm.
So I did actually just say, oh, okay, I'm gonna work with this company again. And when I really realized that I can go on the program again and just all I need to do, because next year gonna be the same shit. I'm gonna go and I just need to make a strategy on what I will do with this money when I make it though.
Mhm.
So when you find the place that you actually say you want gonna, how
Yeah.
did you like just get around that in terms of like you go there and how did you get there? How did you like start meet people? You just let them find a job for you and stuff like that.
Who? Who?
Like how did when you find the place you wanted to go? How did you find the job?
Oh, I mean, I found it online. Just
Also, you
Google.
just do everything online and then
Yeah, applied to the place. They said they take J1s. Sent it back.
all it just happened from there. So see, like it's so crazy. Like anybody right now can just you can just look for the job yourself.
Yeah,
Look for
and
the job yourself and just get the sponsor
if
to
they take
sign it.
J1s, maybe they work with that sponsor and they can.
That kind of
They
crazy.
understand the system. I mean, they do it every year. It benefits them. They get cheaper labor that wants to work because a lot of people in America don't really want to
Yeah.
work as much as a J1 that's coming from a country where they don't make that amount of money and they come up motivated, put in
Mm.
it the work for the summer. They don't command that high salary like a person that lives in America.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And those persons tend to give you a good output for less input.
Well, that's really cool, bro. So it's like just doing that, you can just tell that you have a good experience though, man. And like you can do that and have a good experience for the summer just by searching for exactly where you want to go and finding the exact job if you like you really
Hmm.
want to do. But how did you manage just you
Well,
come after that you work? How did you manage like your life afterwards, just going back to Jamaica and stuff like that? Like how how did you manage your life in terms of like just getting through school, start making enough money to pay for your stuff then?
yeah. I mean, this was like the second time.
Yeah.
So I mean, we had two different experiences, but just after making a lot more money, I was able to pay for rent, like buy everything I wanted for school,
Hmm.
and then, I mean, we always live like this. Like we never really needed to go to all of the parties, and even right now, I can say, well, for sure, I don't have any regrets
Hmm.
of not going to all of the parties because it turned out none of them really mattered.
That never mattered.
Yeah, like when we ended up going to some parties, people were like, "Oh, this party must be great because you guys are here." And we're like, "No, we just chose one of the parties and actually went to go. We
Yeah,
didn't
just
really care for it."
a random one.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of crazy though. Like I remember, I never really regret not going to a lot of them still because I just remember that like them parties, like people used to take them so serious, and when you really look at it, they never really mattered.
Yeah.
None of them shits never really mattered, but like just going through it and seeing what happened while everybody going to those parties, like one strategy that I did realize that I didn't want to do is I didn't want to just come here, work enough to just buy a car and
Mm.
just have the car like have the money value keep in that car.
Oh,
So once you do that now, you know that okay, the next time when you're leaving again, you can now sell that car and like travel with money.
that's a strategy.
Yeah, that was a strategy that I feel like we both tapped into. Like
Yeah.
we just realizing that okay, this is a pattern. Every year is the same shit. So all you have to do is just set up yourself good for the next year.
Hmm.
So we both start like looking into that and say, okay, so if we get cars and we put the money in cars, all we have to do is just live within the means for the year and
Yeah.
then like just sell the car afterwards.
And don't mess up the
I
car.
don't mess up the car.
Just relax,
Yeah.
get your alarm
So
system,
that's like a good
no
strategy
speeding.
to do, bro. But like, don't get me wrong. Still, I wouldn't advise nobody to just go buy a car like that because it's
It's an expense.
it's an expense and it's a crazy liability, especially like if you don't have things set up in terms of just you saying, okay, you have to pay for gas, like you have to pay for any maintenance required,
Insurance,
insurance, like
registration.
all of that stuff. And like you buying a car, you have to make sure that you have all those expenses accounted for,
Hmm.
or you're in like a lucrative job, knowing that you can pay for that stuff,
Hmm.
or maybe you're just doing a business that you can use to pay for these expenses. So it's like majority of the time having a car is like a full on liability,
Hmm.
but say for instance, if you're looking for longevity or just looking to just get yourself from point A to point B, like you definitely you're gonna need a car.
And it helps. We actually, when we had the cars, I mean, we never had a lot of money after we
Mm.
bought the cars.
Hmm.
But what we did was we started a business where we were selling cases, phone accessories, and
That was
that,
pretty cool.
yeah,
That was cool. So like that helped us to get through certain expenses with like just having our cars. But for me, my best like thing was to being able to like just sell the car afterwards, and then when I realized that shit, I basically have all the money I used to pay for this car
when you buy the car cash, huh?
when they buy the car cash.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's not like we did like finance any car or anything. Like we literally just get the car cash. So now when you actually sell this car, you're able to say, all right, damn, like I have all this money and I can literally travel with this money
With the
again.
money,
Yeah, that did actually crazy when I did think about that still.
very
Like,
relaxed. Your ticket is paid for,
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
fees is paid for,
Mm.
and you have that cash
So,
solid.
so that's something that I felt like we tapped into at an earlier time, realizing that we can reserve our money and just have your money just kept safe
Hmm.
in like a thing where even if the asset wasn't like a appreciated asset, it still just kept it value like just
Hmm.
solid, you know.
As long as it doesn't get stolen.
Yeah, you don't want it get stolen or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like just afterwards, just doing the after college thing is just crazy when that it kind of prepare you to being independent on your own, like even after you leave college, because just doing all that stuff and having the experience of saying, okay, now you have your first car, you live on your own for the first time, all that
Hmm.
stuff, that literally prepare you for when you actually live on your own. Because like just going to college is just not, it's not the whole picture, bro. Like your actual life is. So a lot of people don't really think that like.
But it does give you like the training wheels.
I know it give you
That's
the training wheels to let you understand, and like it give you the training wheels on how to network with people and how to
hmm
build certain relationships. But you know, like a lot of people still don't just think that okay, being in college is the entire point of life. Like it is
end all
not.
be all. Yep.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like I look at it like this: college is just what prepares you for actual life itself.
Hmm.
You just have to actually live the life. Like, but my thing is, I would aim to just start a business while in college.
Ah.
Like starting a that's the best opportunity ever because if you think about it like this, if you start a business while in college, you now have like a group of like-minded individual all in one place.
Hmm.
So you literally you have a niche that literally defined for you.
Hmm.
So if you really want to get through college, all you need to do is just look for common problems that everybody face within the same institution and just try solving those problems.
Hmm.
Because it's like if you genuinely try to do that now, you're gonna realize that okay, all of majority of people who in the same school, in the same place, they're all going to face the same things day to day.
Hmm.
So once you can find solutions for those things, I feel like you can really tap into like increasing your finances while you're in college and having a great experience while you're in college and like being able to just manage your own life in every aspect.
Hmm.
So I just feel like if you really want to have the ultimate best college experience, tapping into like something like that for sure.
Which one? Just the business?
Starting a business within college.
Hmm.
That would not only prepare you financially for like your actual present college day existence, but your future life after college and stuff like that.
All right, so give them the rundown. Say college is 3 years.
Hmm.
Give them a year one, year two, year three, and I'll do it myself as well.
In terms of how though.
How, like, what you say would be the approach for having a
Mhm.
smooth college experience?
So, all right, a smooth college experience,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, is first you get in there, try to talk to people older than you.
Year one.
Year one,
Mm-hmm.
try to talk to older people. So, I always try to have friends that are in year four or just the last segment of college
Mm-hmm.
to just basically, like when you watch like a movie and somebody just tried, you'd rather somebody just tell everything about the movie than
Mm-hmm.
just you sitting on and watching the full thing.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole thing is I become friends with these guys that been there, done that, just
Mm-hmm.
to get like a whole skipping the whole dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
So I would get friends like that. I would figure out how to tap into the system itself and gain influence within the school. If you can gain influence by just having friends all around, I feel like you can have like a great experience for year one and year two.
Mm-hmm.
Year two is when you should actually thinking of, all right, now I have as much friends as possible. I have as much network as possible. Now I can start like a business or I can start doing something that's going to pay me while I'm in college.
Mm-hmm.
So year two should just be a way of you're really realizing that okay, things are possible. You're gaining influence in the school and then you're realizing how you can make money within the school. And then year two is like just year three going on is just like finding strategies where you know that you can have a good experience while going to school and getting paid while going to school
Mm-hmm.
and being able to just tap into like your real like final form in college, just being that person that you really want people to know you as,
Mm-hmm.
getting as much friendship as possible, I feel like year four or like the last year of college is when you should really realizing that, all right, whatever business you do or whatever business you been start, it now help you and it put you in a position to at least do a real life business
Mm-hmm.
or get into a real life job or a real life career that you feel like, okay, I really see myself doing this after school because
Mm-hmm.
not everybody wants to start a business.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the friends that you met and the people that you got close to in college are the fuel that's going to drive whatever you do after college.
Mm-hmm.
So, say for instance, you've been close with a lot of the grown ups that been just in a certain specific field that you know that okay, after college I see myself working at this firm or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have a foot in the door to just get there.
Mm-hmm.
Directly just get there and you can just skip the line because you already know these guys. These
Yes.
guys know you from college.
Yes. Yes.
You see me? Or if you want to start a business, you don't know, you've been doing the business from college, so you've been having the experience of starting and failing a business and getting people to be interested and getting people to know about your business. Like you would have gained those experience from being in college.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like my full thing is anything you do in college, just let it prepare you for the real life afterwards. And I feel like if you do like just something close to that, you can have a good first, second, third, fourth year in
Nice.
college. Like
Nice.
you can have a good run around.
Nice.
What's your like ideal 1 to 4? You think?
So I'd say 1 to 4. Like first year you get in.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. You meet people. Depends where you are as well. If you're in a community, meet the community so you can just kind of protect yourself and kind of have an understanding of what's happening in the community.
Mm.
Um, Going to school, speak to older people. Yes, find out what's the best way. I mean, you don't want to be too focused on money, but you need money regardless. So you
Yeah.
need to know like what's the end result of me doing whatever course or degree I'm working on, and to know where can I land myself? What am I looking forward to? Does it even make sense?
Mm.
At least to make your life easier. I mean, the J1 program is not just about making money. You can also have experiences, but it does help when paying like school expenses, paying for school tools, buying vehicles, etc. So look into that for your first year as well. Um, Not sure if you're looking to start a business, but for sure, if you're looking to start a business, you can definitely test it on people at school, and it's like you can fail, but it's not that hard because it's not like you're just gonna fall flat on your face, right?
Yeah.
You can fail and actually have a chance to recover if you fail in college. So you don't have to go all in. But in college you have a lot of motivated buyers, like people just trying to spend money. People just they don't really care. So you just need to focus on like manage your expenses. A lot of the parties don't really matter because nobody like right now we're at the age where you can see like yo nobody cared. You could have been to
Mm.
all of the parties. Right now, nobody doesn't even remember any of those parties.
Yeah.
Everybody's drunk. Everybody was messed up. Everybody drunk, smoking, whatever. Nobody cared. If you had money to make yourself go through college life smoother, like what we did, a lot of times we literally just didn't have the money to go to the parties.
Mm.
So we couldn't go and buy no drinks, couldn't go and do this. So we're like, all right, cool. We just chill home, play
Just
some
not go.
games, relax.
Cause bro, like I think about it like this: if I can't go to a party and have fun, like with
What's
the
the sense?
what's the sense?
Okay,
Cause
you gonna be asking for drinks?
yeah, like, I rather go there knowing that like I can pay for whatever I want. So majority of the times, like it never makes sense if we don't have the money to go. So I don't even want to think about it.
Precisely, precisely.
Yeah, but like a lot of people, them I don't know, them just take the party so serious.
And don't is the social thing around it. Like people are
Yeah,
pressuring you. Like they themselves want to go to the party, but if you are like a party person, I get it. Like you need to go to the party. But I guess we just weren't party people, and we just didn't see the big picture around it. Like what's the end result? Like all right, say you want to go to the party to bring home a girl or something. Like if you're at home, just let the girl come to you. Just save all
yeah.
of the run around. Just
But
get to the end
like
result.
even though though, like my thing would be, say for instance, if I was supposed to do it all over,
Mm-hmm.
I would have a different outlook on it now
Mm-hmm.
because just knowing what you know about business now and knowing what you know about like how you can really generate money from scratch,
Mm-hmm.
man, like having some of those parties actually just being possible.
Mm-hmm.
There was so many ways to monetize those things, bro. Like there's just so many ways to at least just make money from each individual that is either come to this party or however else. Like I just definitely know that having people like in large settings like that was the best possibility of just capitalizing off of all of that.
Yeah.
So no, like if you're strategic enough to be in college, like if you are that party person, be the ones to be keeping the parties or
Mm.
be the ones to be like, offering something that's related to the parties. So like you can start a business around that, whether it's like I don't know, like a ride service to bring people to the party,
Mm.
or like just offer different things in the party. Whereas like you offer different like clothes, or I don't even know how you can just try to offer people to them whatever you sell clothes, you sell like t-shirts
So it's a
or
glow party, glow sticks, glow bands.
yeah, or just
Yeah.
try to be the odd person on the receiving end. Try to make being if you do want to party or if you are that party person, try to be like be richer every single event,
Mm-hmm.
except being like poorer every single event. So
Mm-hmm.
if an event keep, you know that like money from the event goes to you, like you're benefiting in some way from that event being kept.
Mm-hmm.
So you there's just a lot of ways to do it, and like there's a lot of different things because you can even go the route of I don't know if you're like some dude or some guy, you can try to set up like some different shops or something where you can, everybody go on to them here, nails, whatever, like try to bring the traffic to these people.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
you probably don't do here and nails, but you can make give a like a discount, try to work with whatever hair salon or nail salon, like get them
Ah.
to sponsor your party so them can have more exposure.
Ooh,
You can give
that's
more.
good.
No, that's a good way to do
Yeah.
it because like you could have say for instance you want to
A
keep a
barber
party,
too.
barbershops, like you could have send all of the traffic to that person, and whoever trim with that person get like a discount
Discount.
off your party ticket or
Ah.
whatever. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of ways you can use to like just monetize events like that, and there's a lot of ways you can benefit from going to these parties. Going to the parties is not always like a L, and it's not always like a loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you have to know how to make it work for you because don't get me wrong, bro. Like partying in Jamaica is very fun
Mm-hmm.
and it's very. But my whole problem with that was going to the party, coming back home broke.
Mm-hmm.
Like that never sit right with me ever, in a no way at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I always look at that like, what if I can have best of both worlds?
Yes.
Going to the party and making money.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a lot of people really tap into that different vortex right there, like I feel like a lot of people would more embrace this thing.
Yeah.
So and things sometimes change. Like a lot of people smart enough to get it done in their own specific way. Just be always making sure that you're on the receiving end of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so no, like just looking back at that stuff, I will just benefit off of that in a lot of ways.
Nice.
Yeah, but what other topics you feel like people would really want
Wait,
to
hold on.
to
So
get
year
through?
3, I would say year 3 and year 4. Look, like I don't know if you live on campus,
Hmm.
as we had discussed, like buy something that can probably hold some value. I mean, a car can do it, and we went to a logistics school, so a way to kind of cut the line is to like speak to a broker, try to broker a car into Jamaica. So it's essentially like you import a car to Jamaica,
Hmm.
and then that way you don't get that car lot price, you kind of get a discounted price, and you can actually get a better car because it's the same thing the car lots are doing. They're
Yeah.
getting the car internationally and bringing them in. So I had brought in a car, and that kind of cut the whole process of like the car dealership picking it out for me, them adding their lot fee, all of that. So I
So wait,
end,
would you say importing a car to Jamaica is cheaper than buying it in Jamaica?
of course,
Yeah,
because people have to, they're gonna add their fee for doing the whole process for you.
I know. Like a lot of people always have that question. They always ask, "Is that like a cheaper way for me, or is that a, like a more expensive route?" And what I feel like people don't understand is you importing a car in the country, it 100 times have to be a better option, bro. Like
Hmm.
it 100, because first of all, you have so many benefits that come with that. Because like think about it like this: you're gonna be the first person to drive that car in Jamaica, right? When you import
Literally,
it, literally.
yeah.
So you have that luxury of that, and the car probably come with some miles on it. Yeah, fuck it, but you're just the first person in Jamaica to do that shit, to
Hmm.
drive that car, right? And then not only you get that luxury of being the first person, you now have a first-hand knowledge of what the final price is on the car.
Hmm.
So you now can look at the market, look at what those cars are selling for, and just like sell it around that price. And majority of the times, the price that the market is selling for is way more than what you actually buy the car for.
Yes, yes.
So you get into tap it into that like section of it. Majority of the times you probably end up making like probably like $200,000 or $300,000 just
Exactly.
off the actual point of having the car, and you get the luxury of having it, driving it out for like 6 to 7 months or five or however long you decide to have the car for. You can drive it out for however long, and then your car hold its value, and you can literally sell it for more money than you literally buy it
Just
for.
like a car mart.
Just like a car mart.
Just like.
So like when you get to understand, I feel like car marts in Jamaica at least they probably do that 1 2 time and then they say, oh shit, like I can just do this 100 times. I make money
Uh,
off of all of these cars.
exactly.
So like that, I feel like this is why cars are so expensive in Jamaica, because everybody like holding the value based on the car performance and based on the brand of the actual car. So
Hmm.
certain brands can come with their own pricing, but like to actively ship a car into Jamaica or to import a car into the country,
Hmm.
how would you advise somebody on how to do so if they want to do so themselves right now?
So, uh, one thing to do is find a broker, somebody that can do that, somebody that has handled that.
Hmm.
And then you actually can go to the websites and look for it like SBT Japan and B Forward.
Yeah, we're gonna put up these websites on the screen so you'll
Yeah.
be able to see them. So we're
So,
gonna put links to these on the screen, so you're gonna be able to see these websites, and you're gonna be able to like look at cars yourself. And these websites are open to the public, like anybody can literally just go on there, you can
yeah.
search for a car, and your job is to just like what, get your own broker in Jamaica, you think,
Get a broker because you still need somebody with a brokering license
to ship the car in.
to actually sign off on the car.
Hmm.
But the only thing I did was pay on PayPal to the website
Yeah.
the amount for the car, and then the broker would sign off on it, and then when it comes through to customs, you have to go back and actually clear it.
So how do you make sure that like they have your order for the car and you can track it all the way to Jamaica?
uh how do you, I mean, all of that is on the website,
Hmm.
because when you ship it, you're gonna get a bill of lading, and you can actually speak to a lot of the customer reps.
Yeah.
And that's something that I actually did. I spoke to a customer rep and I said, do you know any brokers in Jamaica?
Yeah.
And they actually gave me the number for somebody in Jamaica.
That's a broker.
That's a broker, yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And like what I noticed is a lot of these guys, they're so accessible. You can just take their number and just WhatsApp them. Like they literally all have WhatsApp. Like I
Yes,
realize that
they
all these
do.
guys have WhatsApp, bro. So if you're really seriously wanting your first car, you can genuinely do this, and you can just ship in your car into Jamaica at first. And like one strategy that I thought about and I did actually put in place, but it never go 100% my way because of just few cracks came in. Instead of going the route of saying, okay, you're gonna buy one expensive car, right? Look into the point of not just buying one big expensive car and having that car keep its value. Try to, if you have enough money and if it's possible for you, split it in half and buy two cheap cars.
Mm.
So if you can buy two cheap cars, you can drive one cheap one, get it from point A to point B, do what you have to do, your necessary things, and the next one you can literally use to just be a taxi or something. And that taxi that you have doing its thing can just go end up pay for your actual real car expenses. So now you have money to buy gas, now you have money to maintain your actual car. And it's like you have like a business side hustle on the side that's just making you money. And then you can just have somebody you trust enough that's driving this car for you and like being able to just, like pay you and like have like a honest split.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, if the person not honest, then this not gonna work out for you. But good luck with that because like it's kind of difficult finding like an honest person, like that country, but like it's very possible though because it's not impossible. Just know that if you have the right mind at it and if you're surrounding yourself with the right people, it's very possible for you to at least do that. So that's the thing. Just don't always think that okay, I need to buy the most expensive car to keep its value, blah blah blah. No, sometimes you just need to put that in half because if you split it in half, you probably end up having more money at the end of the whole equation than the person that buy this expensive car and like just waiting. So you have those options to play around with.
Mm-hmm.
Just be able, just try like make it be possible for yourself to like just give yourself time to learn, give yourself experiences to learn from, and don't be afraid to just take risk and like the best thing to do is just taking risks because I'm pretty sure that you probably never 100% sure what like would be ever happen after
Mm-hmm.
you purchase that car and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I learned a lot.
Yeah,
So, and then I guess after that year of just selling the car, like when you reach in fourth year or third year, depends on when you're leaving.
yeah,
You like from the start of the year be thinking about your exit plan. Like just think about
mm,
what's next, cause
yeah.
something has to happen next. So you just
I mean, having
whether
a good exit is always good
yeah,
in
like
anything.
you're gonna either finish the year or you just have to do something. It don't just make sure what you're doing kind of aligns with what you want to do.
Yeah,
So if you're gonna find a job, start connecting with people. If you're gonna,
in that field,
yeah,
and that's or if you want to get into like starting your own business, doing certain things, try to get an apprentice job, like on in that same field. So
mm-hmm,
whatever business you're looking to start or be a part of, you can just be apprentice in that job throughout college or while you're in college itself. Don't just stuck at home doing nothing. Like try go hang out at these places.
yes,
Try go to these places and hang out there, and you know that like all right, eventually over time you probably get a job there or you get some form of experience just working in that same field, wherever you want being in, or just try no like things kind of way different no than what it is. What you can do is try do videos or creating content around certain things that like you're interested in,
mm-hmm,
and then you go find yourself having like-minded people just like finding you, so
mm-hmm.
you necessarily don't have to go out there finding anybody anymore. Like people go now just find you to do certain things. So me, like I realized that just doing that and like trying to just not only creating content around the thing that you're interested in is just trying to be in certain like groups or being in certain like area of where something is happening, and then you know that this is going to help you to make your future decisions.
Facebook groups,
Facebook groups and,
Twitter,
and like
follow people.
yeah, just follow like-minded people, and this going to really help to affect a lot of your future decisions. So you have any more topics like somebody can go over like to get them through?
Uh, I mean, I guess in college no, we didn't have this, but AI using AI in college.
Yeah, use it like right now. bro, if we did have AI in college, that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
But no, like people actually in college now, like seeing this, you gonna have your like AI in college right now. You have AI can actually help you write essays, just actually do your homework, legitimately do all these things that it's just it wasn't possible at one time.
Do your
And
final project too.
the final project, like
Before they catch on,
yeah,
just let
so,
AI do your
so
final
yeah, so try
projects.
maximize like Power Chat GPT or any other AI software tool that you can definitely use to get through college. And I really feel like it's gonna take a while before even like the Jamaican economy ban it in college. If I were you right now seeing this, I would have just try maximize 100% on something like that before anybody else catch on to that, because like that can really help you if you be ahead of your school or be
Hmm.
ahead of your college. And like
How
a lot of people don't even know that even exists right now.
how would you say AI can make college much easier or school much easier?
Well, I feel like AI, a lot of these things that we like um basically talk about in this podcast so far, AI can really maximize a lot of that in terms of it can break down a full game plan for you to import a car
Mm.
straight into the country. It can literally help you do that. It can also help you um, decide what business you need to start, help you solve whatever problem based on you.
Ah, you're
Yeah, like
right.
so based on you giving it problems that you're facing in school, you could literally ask it how to start a business around around those
Yes.
problems. And like you just having group work and having topics, it can literally help you to solve these things like 100% faster. So it can write these essays for you, like it can help you study, it can give you different strategies on how you can study. It can help you like join form different clubs. It can give you ideas on clubs to form in school just based on just people and like what you're giving it, what you're telling it about your school. So it's like right now I feel like if we had AI going to college, that would just be like a huge strategy advantage. Like that would just help us like tremendously just with everything. So if I'm you right now and you're in college, take advantage of this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just sit down on the technology and then just say, "Oh shit, I can't do this because of that." Can't do this. You don't have no limits
Yeah.
like to nothing nowadays. Like no, things are just 100% easier right now than it has ever been. Like you have no reason why you can't have something go your way right now. There's no possible reason why. Like there's just it's just impossible for you not to have things to go your way right now because you have everything at your disposal to do so. All you need to do is just come up with these plans, follow through, and just be consistent with this stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you actually do that, I feel like you can have like a great experience just going through college itself.
Yeah.
You know?
So ask it a few questions, and it basically spits out everything for you
Mm.
about starting a business as a college student. Talks about identifying your passions, doing market research, creating a business plan, registering a business. I wouldn't say you need to register your business. You're just in college. Just
Yeah,
get it
like
off the ground.
you be in college. I won't even focus on registering the business in college.
Yeah,
Like I would just focus more on doing the business, bro. Like
exactly.
because you trying to register in a business. I see a lot of people register a business and say, "Oh my god, I have a business." Like, bro, like you don't have a business unless you start serving customers. Like,
Hmm.
you don't have a business unless you start like actually, like having traffic to the business. Like, you really need to make your first transaction, and then you have like a business,
Hmm.
not just you registering it, having the certification for a business. So it's like, if you really take this serious and if you really want to be like in tip top form going to college and leaving college and like leaving being the man that you know that you can be to start your own family now and like create another generation for yourself. If you're genuine and serious enough, I feel like you can do this. Like I don't think this is like a very hard thing. Like things are just 100% more like easier now. than it's ever been. So you have no excuse.
Mm-hmm.
You literally have no excuse.
Yeah, and then the thing about just importing the vehicle, you could ask that as well. The
Hmm.
AI just helps you with. It's like another brain.
Hmm.
So if you just need ideas, just prompt it, just ask it until you get what you
Yeah,
want or even close,
yeah.
and then you can build off that. So that's basically how AI can help you. Even for the essays, it doesn't have to write your essay,
Mm,
but it can give you the skeleton for your essay, and then you kind of understand, oh, I can structure it this way.
mm,
This is how I can approach this and answer the question.
yeah. So it's like it literally just like you say a second brain. I feel like it just supercharged whatever you were already thinking.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
that's pretty cool, and I really feel like I really hope you guys like get a lot of value out of these videos because like these are like dear strategies we have close to our hearts, you know,
Hmm.
and it's like we're choosing to share them with you guys, and I feel like you guys can really make a lot of use with them if you use wisely and like actually paying attention to the things that we're saying, you know. And I really hope you guys can like come to us with different stories on what you've been doing and like
Hmm.
how this information actually help you. And if you have anything, or if you disagree or agree with anything that we've said so far, let us know in the comments. Let us know how you feel about stuff like this, and then give us strategies that you feel like you've done that actually help you get through college and stuff like that.
Hmm.
You know, and I think that's it, right?
Yeah, man.
All right. So see you guys in the next one.
All right.
See